Hey, I'm back in Thurmond, West Virginia again. This is my second day to be here for this year. And Thurmond was built in 1884. There's the main depot. That's the second depot. Like I said in the earlier video, the original one burnt down in 1903 and was rebuilt in 1904. Here's the main part of town. The main part of town was built in 1884. And the railroad here was completed in 1873. Well, we're waiting on some trains right now. I think there's going to be an eastbound train, and it looks like this train right here, this coal train, is waiting for the eastbound train to pass. It's got 3 locomotives on the front. Go ahead and start the video, son. We're back in Thurmond, West Virginia again. All right, check this out. We got an eastbound train coming, and I'm right in front of the Bank of Thurmond. There's the coaling tower. This will be a good shot right here.
G1112 is 9180. Main number 2, clear. Thurmond.
Clear, main number 2, Thurmond, he said. Oh yeah, rival power. This is a loaded grain train. It's a heavy one. Check out the springs. How do you do, Mr. DPU? DPU there. Working hard. Look at that. What a cool shot. This is awesome. I'm on a giant model railroad layout, 1:1 scale.
So y'all look good, got your motor on the rear. Guy thinks still looking at you.
There you go, just past the other train that's sitting over there. Coal train, 3 locomotives on the lead, waiting for this one to pass. They just told them that they looked good, everything looked good on the rear. That was a good train. Loaded grain train. Now we've got a coal train coming. It's gonna be a westbound coming from that direction right there. See, the Park Service gives tours here. You can take one of the tours and they'll explain all these buildings to you. All these buildings are owned by the Park Service now. So there's a ranger. There you go. Right in front of the post office. But wait, there's more. Here comes a coal train. Westbound coal train, 3 locomotives.
9180 east on number 2 to the main. Clear Claremont.
That train was the other train that just went through. That was not this train. One car rules in full effect. Times 2.
09 West Main.
There's rarely any traffic on this road. Wow, that was a lot of cars. Empty coal train, westbound. If you counted those cars, you deserve some kind of award for that. So pat yourself on the back if you did. Hey, let's look inside this building over here. Let's go ahead and step on up in here. Wow, look how far it is to that first step. I'm gonna have a hard time getting up to that door. And there's no doorknob for me to turn. All right, let's have a look inside the window here. I don't know if we can see because of the glare. Well, there you go. Gave it a try. All right, let's get another train. That was pretty good. That was really good. 2 trains in a row. Grain train loaded, and then an empty coal train. You can see inside these windows a little bit. Just a little bit of dirt and stuff on there. I can't really do much to show the stuff inside. Another big step up for that one. Look at that. You gotta be really tall to get up there. Have a big step. All right, thanks for watching. See what else we can get into. Okay, here's a flange greaser, and this goes for track 1, solar powered. Track 1's the second track over. It's not hooked up to the track that's right next to me, track 2. So there's your flange greaser. So it goes to the track over there. And you can see those pads that are collecting all the excess grease. They've got some of those used pads in a pile right here. See right there? And this rail is used rail. Big long strip of welded rail. That came from the rail over there on that track closest to me. The outside rail closest to me. That's where this rail came from. There you go, flange greaser. Track closest to me has some pretty good sized rail, 140 pounds per yard. Look at that. Bethlehem steel tin, rolled in 1983. Looks like April. That's pretty good sized rail. Okay, so you can see the pads that collect the excess grease. And right here is where the little pipes inject the grease every time a wheel goes over it and pushes a little mechanism. So the flange greaser's over there. There you go, now you know. These things get pretty messy. All right, here's the main track. You got 136 pounds per yard. Let's see, rolled in 2019, 7 July. And I can't really see the other letters on here. STN maybe? I can't really tell what that says. But anyways, it's 136 pounds, rolled in 2019. This is main 1. There's the depot that was rebuilt in 1904 and then restored in 1995. Got air conditioning in there. It's a nice place to be when it's hot out here. Here's a look inside the train station downstairs. We are downstairs right here. And look at there. Hello there. There's the bathrooms right there. And there's the no admittance, transact business at ticket window room. Cool, look at that. Hey son. Huh. Pretty cool stuff. There's Gambit down there giving directions to somebody. They think he's a local. Hey, this is really cool. I'm upstairs in the train station right now. I didn't even know that you could go up here. I've been to Thurmond quite a few times. I've been downstairs, but I've never been upstairs. I didn't even know that you could do it. I don't know how I missed this. Let's have a quick look here. Got some displays here. And there are windows along that side. The tracks are on the right-hand side, just to the right of me. So if a train comes, I'm gonna look out the window. Here's the elevator. You can come up that way, or you can walk the stairs on the outside and come in that way too. Telegraph office straight ahead. Let's have a look. So you can see outside here. There's a guy. Hey, how's it going over there? Telegraph and signal office. Look at the view this guy's got. Man, he can see the trains really good. Look at that. That's where Amtrak stops right there. That platform. That's new. I think that was put in a year or two ago, something like that. And you can see this way. There's the railroad crossing. And there's 1960 Gambit sitting there. He's not waiting on a lady. He's waiting on a train. And you can see the cooling tower. Oh, we got a train coming too, son. I just now picked up the end-of-train device on my radio. So we've got one within a couple miles of us. Let's have a quick look and let's get out there and get that train. Definitely don't want to miss that. Yardmaster's office. I'm just kind of rushing through it right now because I want to get this train. This is me in a hurry. Look at this. Click on it and check it out at your leisure. I know you can't read it, but Thurmond Visitor Center renovation. All right, let's get outside and get this train because we're gonna miss it. All right, one more look. I didn't get this very good. Kind of glares, so I know it's hard to see. But anyways, that's Engage. Engage track and trains there. Let's go outside and get the train. There's a door down this way. And the air conditioning in here feels great. It is nice. Look at this, a door that actually opens. Cool. Now we're outside. I think that might be the first time I've ever actually been able to open the door, isn't it? On my channel. Oh, I hear the train. Let's go. I waited too long. Guy's knocking down the signal. Way down there. Zoomed in 6 times. This is an empty coal train. See how high the springs are? You can tell it's empty that way. There's the old coaling tower built in 1922. That's where they used to load coal on the steam locomotives for fuel. The last steam locomotive came through here in 1958. That's the last time one came through here on a freight. You know, there's been steam locomotives through here for tourist runs, but that was the last time for actual freight service for steam locomotive, 1958. All right, there you go. Is that awesome or what? Here's the Fairbanks Morse coaling tower up close. Look how big this thing is. It's gigantic. And I don't know if you can read it, but it says 1922, C&O, Chesapeake and Ohio Railway, Fairbanks Morse builder. So this was used for a little bit over 30 years. Last coal train came through here. Last steam locomotive, I should say, pulling freight was in 1958. So it was used a little over 30 years. We'll have a look around here. I know I've shown this thing in other videos before, but for the new subscribers, let's get a close look. Missing all kinds of stuff to it, I know. And I don't exactly know what I'm looking at. I know that they dumped coal over here. Coal came out of the bottom of the coal cars into a pit right here. And then it would go up into the tower and they would load it into the tender on the steam locomotives. So this wood was added over the track just for safety. And somebody's vandalized this section right here. They flipped it upside down. There's a big hole in here. Let's see if we can see. The coal would come out. You see the track there? Coal would come out of the hopper cars in the middle, go down into a big hole, and they had some kind of auger with a conveyor belt, and it would lift it up the tower this way, and then load it onto the steam locomotives. There's a motor in here that would power the conveyor belt. Look at this. Take this motor out. Click on that and read it at your leisure. I can't hardly see it. Should have the date and manufacturer on there. And over here, hey look, another door that opens up. Wow, I'm doing really good here today. Don't want to drop the phone down in there. There's a big hole. That was the hole I was showing you on the other side. The coal would go down into that hole. Then it was a conveyor belt that would lift it up. I'll shut that door. It would go up that way on the other side of that wall somewhere, and then they would load it into the trains. I'll shut this door and have a look out here. Here's another old abandoned building too. It's got something to do with this. Kind of weedy. There's a hole in there, so you gotta watch your step. The roof is long gone. All right, let's get a little closer. All I can do is get poison ivy or maybe get bit by a snake. That's about it. See, the roof is all gone. I don't know what this building was for. I would say something to do with the coaling tower. Here's another look at the coaling tower on this side. Look how big this thing is. Wouldn't that be something to walk up that stairway right there? It'd be kind of hard to get to it though. I'd like to walk up that stairway and watch the train go by underneath of it. Look how huge it is. Well, there you go. I pretty much showed the whole thing. I filmed another one of these not too long ago, but I was from a little distance away. I was in Springfield, Ohio. I got one. I also got one up in northern Indiana. I was almost into Michigan, where I filmed one up in Michigan City, Indiana. And I'm told that that one's being taken down. There was also another one that I filmed in Nelsonville, Ohio, I don't know, it's been quite a few years back. And it's already been torn down. And I know a few more of these too. I know there's a few more of these coaling towers. All right, there you go. Let's get a train. But wait, there's more. There always is. Hey, it's been 5 hours since the train went through. Actually, slightly more than 5 hours, but we got one coming. Look at this. I don't know if it shows up. Probably gotta get a little bit closer. Top left, that's on green, clear signal. So the track closest to me, that's main number 2, has a westbound train coming. And I did pick up a chirp from the end of train device a few minutes ago. So I'm gonna walk down here on the other side of town, see if I can get that curve before the train gets here. So here we go. This will be pretty cool. Hey, see that building there on the end? Back in about 1904, the guy bought that lot. It's only 150 feet long by about 45 feet wide. He paid $4,000 for that and then built that building. Back then, that was a lot of money. Just think of how much $4,000 was back then. I can't believe a little tiny lot like that would cost that. I mean, even today, there's places we can get a vacant lot that same size for $4,000 or less. But we're gonna go down here somewhere. I'd like to get on the other side of this coaling tower and get that train. I picked it up again, so they're really getting close. I'm walking as fast as I can. All right, here we go. We got the train coming right now. I got a westbound. This is gonna be really awesome right here. I hear it. Should be coming around that curve any time. Hey, wait a minute. That's RJ Corman. Well, that's interesting. I need to be up there. All right, I really messed up big time. This is the RJ Corman train. This is the first one since we've been here, our second day. I thought it was a CSX train coming. And it's RJ Corman. Oh, I was wanting to get one coming off that bridge. I'm way out of position. I'm gonna head up that way as far as I can. All right, here we go. They're just now coming on to the CSX main here, main number 2. He just switched the track. Yep, getting ready to move now. Wish I would have made it up there to the bridge. My goal was to get one coming off that bridge. I didn't have the RJ Corman frequency in my radio. RJ Corman is 160.845. CSX is 160.230. But I heard talking on CSX when I heard the end of train device chirping. So, I don't know. I'm zoomed in 6 times, as much as I can. That's cool looking. see the bridge at all. Oh, there's the bridge, just out of view. Well, I got it partly going over the bridge. This is where I wish I was at when that train first came. Got me by surprise though. All right, those engines are going back. A couple manned helpers that were on the rear. There's the train station. The employees are just now going home, see? Those are the employees just now leaving. The visitor center closes at 5. It's a little after 5. I don't know where they go with the coal now. Lights are still flashing. All right, that was really cool. Man, I am burning up. I walked all the way from down that curve to here while the train was going by. Well, we'll see what else happens.
But wait, there's more. There always is.
All right, here we go. Westbound train. I can't see it. Empty grain train. It's on Main 2. Wow, that was a lot of cars pulled by just one locomotive. That's pretty amazing. Man, I am sweating so bad. This is the hottest I think I've ever been in my life. I mean, wow. It is so hot and humid out here. 90 degrees. The humidity is really terrible. I can hardly even see. Got all the sweat coming off me. Yeah, it is really, really hot and humid here. All right, let's see if anything else happens. "1910 was the busiest year here. There were over 76,000 passengers coming in and out of Thurmond." There's the remains for 2 water towers. There was 2 water towers there where they could put water on the steam locomotives. It was a big one and a smaller one. It sure was a hot day here in Thurmond, West Virginia. Thanks for watching my videos, everyone. I'm headed home. If you got time, check out another one of my videos. Every view helps my channel. All right, see you later. Here comes the live action pets and the slideshow. Here we go. Cool. That was a good one. Good job, Loki. Hey, what about you, Jesse? You gonna do that? No?
What a cute little kitty cat. Jesse. Funny little animals. Hi, Jesse.
Dippy, I see you.